Good afternoon to all and every one of you. In public life, I have known defeat and I have known victory. Neither defines you as a person. Character and values do. Earlier today, I was informed that a letter was taken to His Excellency the Governor General to have my appointment as Leader of the Opposition revoked at the request of 5 of my parliamentary colleagues. I have never responded in public in respect of any of these issues, and I will now do so because circumstances demands that my silence be broken. This morning I telephoned the Secretary of the Parliamentary Party at 5 minutes to 10 to formally indicate that I would not be attending the meeting to which I was improperly summoned, and for the reasons that follow. Further, I indicated to him that I remain committed to meaningful dialogue, but not in this way. For the past few days, I have struggled and I have prayed as to whether I should attend the meeting to which I was summoned by 5 of my 8 parliamentary colleagues. As always, I am going to be honest and sincere with you. This is the Mia that you know, and this is the Mia that will always be. Last Wednesday, I learned of this meeting through Facebook and through the media. Let me say at the outset that it is the right of my parliamentary colleagues to request a meeting, and it is their right to determine who should be leader. However, in my almost 22 years in the Barbados Labour Party, I do not know of anyone other than the party leader convening a meeting of the Parliamentary Labour Party. If you want a meeting, just ask for it and it will be convened. Further, to have written letters to Cynthia Ford, Raul Eastman, William Duguid and myself, while at the same time sending those letters to the media, is not only discourteous, but it does not reflect a genuine desire for meaningful dialogue and resolution. The Barbados Labour Party, like all other political parties, has known what it is to have conflict and to resolve conflict between its members. But it has its own way of dealing with its affairs, and I shall not deviate from this tradition of over 72 years. To have a letter already signed by 5 persons since almost 1 week ago and seen by persons on both sides of the political divide is to charge me, is to convict me, is to sentence me, and then try to tell the public you are being fair and civil by inviting me to a trial. Every Barbadian understands and may have expressed their shock, and many have expressed their shock and disapproval at the manner in which this matter has been handled. I therefore had to consider whether I could validate a process which was inherently unfair. I can defend myself, that is true, but ultimately it is not about me. It is not about Mia Motley. I had to consider what message I would be sending to every worker who has ever been dismissed in this country without a chance to defend themselves. I had to consider what message I would be sending to every Bajan who has been wronged or wrongfully accused and never had the chance to defend themselves before it was made public. It is not right, and our young people must never believe that this is the way to behave and to resolve issues. I believe that principles come before party, and that party comes before personality, even in the face of differences and dissent. Indeed, principles only mean something when it is inconvenient to stand by them. I am aware that there are some who feel that for the sake of the party, I should have attended the meeting today. And I respect those views. But right is right and wrong is wrong. This party, this great party, will only endure if we remain faithful to the principles of justice and fair play and transparency. There are some who may call me idealistic, but principles and ethics have been my compass all my life. They may lead to decisions that are not convenient, that are not popular, but I know no other way. I have always faced challenges head on, respected the rights of others, and put Barbados first, mindful that my first and ultimate purpose is to faithfully serve my constituents in St. Michael Northeast and the people of this country. I hold firm to these beliefs. The ability to ground Barbadians, all Barbadians, culturally and financially. The need to care for those whose voices cannot be heard and whose actions cannot be felt. The legitimacy of the fight against injustice and the consolidation of power and wealth in this country, and the right to advocate and fight for social justice and the freedom to allow our creativity and ingenuity to flourish. I hold them as dearly today as I did on the first day that I came into public life in July 1989. Barbados needs a new direction, and we all know that instinctively. We need to build a Barbados where all have the opportunity to share in material prosperity, irrespective of the circumstances of their birth, and we are not there yet. We need to build a more tolerant, considerate, and loving Barbados, where each person is given an opportunity and where we do unto others as we would have them do unto us, and we are not there yet. We need a new governance that would allow Bajans to truly determine their destiny and that of their children, and not just for a few persons and institutions, many of which need reform to allow for greater transparency and accountability across all of Barbados. We need to work together to build hope among our young people, for without hope, there is no real future for them. We need to take care of this country, our environment, because it is the only rock that we have. And we need ultimately to unleash that creativity and ingenuity among Barbadian people in all aspects of our lives if we are truly to succeed. Let me say clearly that I have forever believed that it is the politics of development and the politics of people that will secure this new Barbados. It will not be the politics of politics and the pursuit of personal agenda. This country can ill afford tribalism in our midst. And I do not accept that politics has its own morality or that politics is a blood sport. We will exclude too many of our people, too many Bajans who have a contribution to make, but who may not be willing to serve so long as politics remains a blood sport and is viewed as having its own morality. I pray, believe you me, I pray that there are others across all races, all classes, all gender, and all political parties who also believe that these beliefs are necessary to secure a new Barbados. I was raised to give always of my best and to approach every task with all of my being, knowing that you will not always please everyone. None of my colleagues ever in the last 2.5 years raised any fundamental issue regarding my stewardship as leader. But I accepted, however, as you know, the challenge in 2008, in January, to pick up the vestiges of our defeat at the polls and to lead my party into opposition. My duty was a simple one. My sojourn as opposition leader and political leader would not be characterized by opposing just for the sake of opposing, but by consistently offering alternative perspectives to the people of this country while encouraging the next generation to come to the fore so that this party could remain relevant to the needs of Barbadians. I also recognize that after 70 years as a party, if we were to remain credible to the Barbadian public, we could not only be working towards democracy and transparency in our country, but we must also ensure democracy and transparency in our party. It was to this task that I committed myself over the last 2.5 years. It has been my honor to lead my party, the Barbados Labour Party. I am comforted by the story of Joseph in Genesis. Joseph and his brothers. When Joseph said that it was meant for evil, but the Lord meant it for good. As I leave this office, I want to thank my constituents, my parliamentary colleagues in Parliament, especially those who continue to have confidence in me, and all of those persons in and outside of the Barbados Labour Party, in and outside of Barbados, including today, who have provided their support over the last 33 months to allow us to be the voice of the people. As for tomorrow, I will continue to represent the interests of my constituents, and proudly so, in St. Michael Northeast, and rest assured that of all Barbadians and Caribbean people. As always, time and God will determine the future. May God bless my party, the Barbados Labour Party, and may God bless Barbados. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will not take any questions. I will not take any questions today. There's more than enough time. If there is one thing this lesson has shown, and this whole episode has shown, is that you don't make decisions in the heat of the moment. Good day and God bless.